Greetings, thank you for joining us tonight's broadcast. Back to you. It's quarantine day number, whatever it is, 500 or you're a 5-year quarantine. Right. Alright, so we're going to do something a little bit different, or I did some of that before, actually, but the timeline, I might start doing more timeline, where things are going. Of course, nothing's ever 100%. I might do like maybe even a 5-minute thing, possibly, if anything comes through. Because it was getting weird, as you can see. So, we'll see how it goes, see how I feel, and everything. So, yeah, Zeta Gray, I'll do another Zeta Gray connection. I don't remember everything I said last time, so I'm just going to do another connection with them. And the Pentagon released UFO footage recently. So, not that they're going to have a huge UFO landing or anything like that. That'll make things interesting. But eventually, probably. Yeah, we're gearing. So, alright. So, the timeline of where things are going. Okay, let me see here. I do feel July. No, I know I felt June. But July is going to be kind of a. I think we talked about this on the radio show too, with Retro about July seems to be, at least from this perspective, a lot of things are going to break down. Not everything, but just even mid-May, we're going to see as people are starting to. People are going to be unlocked from the lockdown, and a lot of people are going to still be in the lockdown. So those in the lockdown are going to be losing their minds even more. So it's going to be kind of a split there. So mid-May, like mid-April, there's some kind of shift going on. Details of it, not clear. A version of a breakdown of some kind of, society loses its mind or something like that. Manipulation. Who knows? We'll just have to. Who knows? But yeah, June is going to be a lot of things are going to lift. That's right. Retro said there's going to be a second wave. Beaches are closed. Definitely. Opening of the beaches makes absolutely no sense. But people are going crazy. I guess it does make sense. Yeah, I think they open up another beach out here too. But you can't lay down or anything. You just have to keep moving. How they're going to police? Well, I guess you can't police that, but anyway. Yeah, July seems to be a time of breakdown. So May is going to be kind of rough. It's going to be boring and rough. Like people are going to lose their minds. There's just nothing going on. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Companies aren't doing so great. They're being tested. Yeah, the food supply situation with the meat. That this is only temporary. That won't be forever, but it's going to be shortages here and there. Yeah. So I guess more people be eating cereal or just peanut butter. One of those things. Yeah. So it's going to be rough in some areas, but not everywhere. Some of these companies are being sabotaged too by the virus. Meaning there is some kind of manipulation going there within some. Even like this is kind of unrelated, but I saw a thing on the financials about credit card companies. One is the Discover card. Say what you want about it. I know I don't normally talk about that stuff, but I feel like there's a positive Illuminati energy with that one. Not to say it's always 100% positive, but it does seem like it's very friendly. I'm just bringing that out there out of nowhere. I might go into that some other day of the banks. Not all banks are completely taken over and dark. But Discover, just you look at Discover card, it's very easy on people when they start out. It's just friendly overall. And it kind of gives you an idea of who's dark and who's not. I know it sounds weird, but that's a good example of it. Let's see here. That's right, I forgot to set my stuff up. We just not bother with it. Okay. As for the Zeta connections, I'm not sure if I mentioned it here already, but we'll go into it again. If there's anything else from the virus, I'm going to channel the virus's energy too again, and see where we get with that. And of course, there'll be other energies here. One moment. Okay, with the Zetas, we're going to skip around a little bit. So there might be other timeline stuff that'll come through. Obviously, things are shifting all over the place. Okay, before the Zetas, jeez, I guess a government shift is going to happen maybe October. Yeah, because we're going into the election, because they're spending so much money and everything. It's going to be, of course, you don't know, between now and October. Yeah, the government's going to be in some trouble itself, from what it feels like. I think it already is. Okay, alright. Yeah, there's just new timelines are being born, other timelines are phasing out. Alright, for the Zeta energies, a little bit more interesting, I would assume. Zetas are like Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein. Some of them are. But they're always experimenting. They're just always, yeah, because I have a conversation with them, a short one, and I don't always remember if I mentioned it here or not. So, but yeah, so they're doing like experiments. Like they'll take like a pig and put their DNA with a pig and see what happens. They kind of like just make, they're just trying stuff out. They're what do you call it, innovating. And yeah, it's not pretty, but how we're also going to try something. Where things a human came from. So I believe the Zetas, I think I mentioned it before, but the Zetas are they're very much part of the human design in the beginning. I realize they're all freaky, they're bizarre from day one. But that's kind of the point. They came from other species, but they came from other universes. Some of them did. So the human was always kind of a project. Of course, there's several, but so like the story of that people know of Lyra getting destroyed by reptilians. Of course, that story is a little bit all over the place, but they're all humanoid for the most part. But where did the humanoid energies come from in the beginning? And a lot of it did originate through the Zeta energies in some shape or form. Obviously, everyone has their own way of looking at it. Elohim had involvement with it. So that black helicopter has just showed up, or whatever it is. Seems like it's kind of slow for that, but yeah, not all Zetas are like that. And what I got from the Zetas too, this is before the channeling. Before I'm going to channel their energies, but as they're doing experiments, and like they're all kind of on board with each other. They're all kind of friends, or whatever you want to call it. They're not having cookouts with each other, but technically their experiments are cookouts. But anyway, and some of they're doing an experiment, and one of their colleagues would lose it and become kind of vicious, depending on what project they're on. So yeah. So one would turn evil or something like that. Let's put it that way. Whatever they're doing affected them in some ways, and they just lost it. And from what I gather, it happens a lot. So any type of scientific, situation when you're trying things out, you never know what the hell is going to happen. But from what I got from them, it's something that happens frequently. They never know who it's going to happen to. I think they have sometimes an idea, but they have no emotion, so they're just tinkering, trying things out. So when I flip out on them, they're just have the whole thing destroyed or whatever it might be. And else, through channeled energies in the past, I've done. I think it was Zeta 2. I forget what it was, or Zeta 1. Maybe it was Zeta 1. Zeta Reticuli 1, or one of the planets, got ruined by their experiments. They weren't trying to ruin it. It just as they're trying things out, they kind of nuked their own planet. It was more like a gradual nuking. It wasn't like total destruction of it. So yeah, it's still it's inhabited. It's just kind of a wasteland, I guess, something like that. At least the energy I'm getting from it. It's been a while since I connected to that. So yeah, Zeta 1, Zeta 2, and Zeta 3, and Zeta Reticuli. There's plenty of others out there though. But all right. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Zeta energies. Yeah, they kind of put their own DNA within all sorts of animals and try things out. So like you have a Zeta pig, Zeta elephant, things like that. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it all goes to hell. So they do more experiments than other species do their own stuff too, but Zeta's like at a whole new level. That's why they're all fucked up looking. Because they can go to an environment. Yeah, they go to other places and try things out. So somebody's got to do it. So, but not all are to that extreme. A lot of them are just watching the Earth, of course, assisting us with our technologies, helping us actually psychically connect to our chakras, and they're very psychically connected too. So they can activate chakras and open up your psychic abilities or shut them down, whatever it might be. So they're very in tune in that regard also. There's different types, of course, that focus on that type of vibration. So alright, I'll bring them in, and then we'll channel the virus, and we'll just roll with it. Let's see where we get. Okay, why the virus channeling? I don't know, it just came to mind. Just it's been a while. So as we're still in the fryer pit, doesn't look like we're coming out anytime soon. Might as well give it a shot and see what we have. What we have with that. Okay, alright, blessings. And here we go. Greetings. We are the Zeta Collective. J. Rod is here. We are, yes, engineers of your reality. We stand on the outskirts as humans develop their own civilization. We do bring assistance where is needed, but for the most part we stay out of your way. Yes, there are many dimensions that we follow through. I mean, we roam through. We're almost like a cleanup crew in some ways. We're just appearing and disappearing. We're kind of like, we keep your energy plant going, like those that work on your utilities to keep power going on. We're similar to that. We're always keeping an eye on things. While other species assist you on very other levels, like the Palladians assist with much of the heart, to bring compassion, especially those that are in poverty situations, to assist with bringing the heart. So yes, you're in dire straits, but you can connect to each other in a telepathic way, in a heartful way. Those are the ones, yes, that need the most assistance, of course. And they're learning a great deal about emotion. You'd be surprised how emotionless beings like a Zeta will incarnate in a impoverished family. It's one way to force one's emotions to come through, to find it out. There's more Zetas incarnated here than you might realize, too, but they're not usually of the wealthy elite. Many of those are different beings, of course. Palladian, Syrian, Yael, Andromedans. Andromedans are usually of the artistic form of the healers on your planet, and also artists. There's always a mixture, of course. The Zeta is usually, yes, your mad scientists. Normally. Your mad scientists, your computer programmers, those that have no life whatsoever. Of course, not all of them are like that, but a great deal of them are. Some are healers, yes. They have an intellect that is much different, but also live in isolation. normal, but keep their sanity. You Zetas are very good in situations like this of quarantine. We're normally alone anyway. Even some of your... Now, understand some of those that play video games, some of them are Zetas. Usually those are realities created from Zeta energies. Those that are playing video games also are learning how to strategy, learn how to do things for other planets. You're actually learning how to use those skills on other worlds. Like if you're playing a video game fighting skeleton people, you're preparing for incarnation in a world where there's going to be skeleton people there. Some are doing the race car thing, and incarnate in a world where it's very similar to that. So you're actually preparing, yes, it's bio something, biosphere, whatever one of those games are called, Bioshock. Once again, you might have come from that world, or some of you are preparing to go to that world. Give you a little bit more detail of your multiverse connections. But you bring that knowledge back too. Yes, and there is of humans and their vibrations. You're all like walking power plants or suns, for that matter. You're bringing your knowledge from your realities to assist with this Earth's growth, to keep it sane from, yes, destroying itself. But as this virus continues, more souls are letting out their problems. Some are going through domestic violence because that partner was not really for them to begin with. As you can see, the physicality burned off. The psychology of it was never there. So you're learning more about people throughout the world. It's bringing out the truth within people, governments, businesses, through everything. It's just clearing out what is no longer needed. The heart is opening up stronger among many. It is truly finding a way. So those are going through a dark side of themselves are actually their heart chakras getting powerful, stronger, more compassionate. Yes, there might be these other dark energies. Some dislike that darker side of themselves, like to hide in the shadows, but you can't hide forever. The world will find you eventually. Somebody will find you, let's put it that way. As our Zeta connections with your Earth, alien vibrations as disclosure of your Pentagon, yes. Little bits here and there. It's like, remember the aliens are here. Here's a little hint that you're not alone. As most of your collectives, this looks the other way. And that shows the maturity level of society is not exactly at the highest caliber as it could be. Now, yes, there are many that are channeling energies from different galactic alliances. You're always going to see that. But realize also, a lot of the galactic alliances don't always get along with each other. There is little pity parties between them all. Yes, they do communicate with each other, but it doesn't mean they all like each other. As some of you can feel that. Some of you are lone wolves. Some of you are like private contractors. You work with them all, but you don't really get involved with all the politics. Because all these alien groups have little politics situations among each other. Just like your government here. It's not as dirty here, but it's still kind of intense in some ways. They work with each other because they have to. Some are very close. Others are just what cause distraction and pull them apart. So if this galactic group and this other galactic group's close, and this other one's like, I can't get along with either one of them. Screw these people. So they're trying to break them apart by infiltrating it from within. As they are appearing as they try to start little wars within their alliances. Happens all the time. So as you hear all these different alliances channeled, realize most of them are not getting along with each other. They all have different agendas. Many of them do have the same goals, but some of them want to be seen as the first ones showing up here. Some don't even care. There's just different energies. And they can pick up on the human egos too. Not that they get fully involved with that. But it's just... It's like sports. You're all part of different teams. They don't always get along with each other. Now, like, if you're part involved with somebody that's a part of a different group than yours, but you get along with that person, there's sometimes a little bit of ruffle going on there, depending on the group. So I'm trying to separate the two of you, or whoever that is. So it's just a different way of looking at your alien connections. As you become more sophisticated of knowing about our existence, it's good you know about how things operate. Now, Zeta Alliances, we're not normally liked by many, but we are, you can say, hired to assist. We are asked to be involved, as we have a lot of connections with your world that we can't fully even go into those details. We all alien groups have their own version of the Earth, of its past. Some, like the Syrians, have actually a very strong political energy here that they don't talk about very often. Like with the Egyptians, they have a strong power connection here. They are learning a great deal from your world. Your world actually ended a lot of wars on their planet, or civilizations, planets, because they were fighting over nothing, which is normal for a war. And then they look at your planet, and just over time they realize this isn't worth it, because a lot of their energies cause a lot of trouble here. It magnifies here. You might have a problem in another world. Yes, there might be a little scuffle, but in this world, it's like World War III. It takes a problem and expands it. The Dark Ages is a mixture of all types of wars with their alien beings. Because a whole new level. As some aliens are trying to save humanity, and others are trying to wipe it out through disease and other things. So it is complicated. Yes, your alien groups don't always get along with each other. As you will not probably hear that from many alien beings, for that matter. Because they're not ready. They want to express positivity. There's nothing wrong with it. They're not giving you the full. They have not really been ready to bring that out. So it's a soul growth on multiple levels. On your level and the aliens level. As you get along with each other, your aliens get along better with each other. So your world's chaos here affects them. In some ways. Not entirely. So it does add an extra strain on them, as they're here to assist, but they can get blown down too. Not all of them, but some do. Some get pulled. They get pulled. They even incarnate here. You're so fascinated by the politics and the structure of it, they just can't take it anymore. This world is like drugs for them. Nothing wrong with that. It inspires an incarnation, and for others, it inspires not to incarnate here. And a lot of the top lieutenants that are part of assisting your planet, the alien beings are here to assist. They've had incarnations during your wars at some point in time. So when there's an alien being, they know how it feels to be in a war on your world. Vietnam, etc. So those alien beings are out of military. Don't call it military, but they are assisting, protecting your planet. Those, usually the top leaders have been incarnations here. At some point, the Mongols war, whatever it is, they know how it feels. They know what's going on through the human psyche. Now, some do feel like they need to incarnate here to know more about your world, and some do volunteer. It's a little bit complicated there. Some do feel like they need to incarnate here to give back to their alien beings, to assist better. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, because sometimes those that incarnate here, as many of you know, lose their minds. Because you're so connected to the alien incarnation cycle. You come here, this place is completely opposite. It's like, what was I thinking? So, as some of you might feel like you're in that position right now. Especially when you have your astral connections, when you're right on a ship, everything's going great. You come back here, it's like, oh, what am I doing here? So, That is some information from our collective viewers. Yes, as you get closer to our vibrations, you know more about how we operate. That's nice to you all. Greetings. I am what you call your virus. I'm more connected to your Mother Earth vibration than you realize. Our coronavirus, crown virus, is to clear out shadow energies. Yes, to bring higher vibrational vibrations. You'd be surprised how a fifth dimensional or higher dimensional fourth dimension energy can seem like it's a virus on your world, but it's actually you're being tuned to a new level of consciousness. So is this a virus, or is this fourth dimensional energies at a heightened scale? And some aren't experiencing it very well. Others adapt, others do not. What is your point of view? So is ridding of darkness? Some might see it that way. It is to see darkness more clearly, how to heal it, but never to get rid of it, because you all need it. To balance darkness. If you get rid of darkness, you don't even exist anymore. You need light and dark. You need them both. Some beings feel like they need to get rid of all of it, which is not the healthiest thing. Understand it, heal it, become a better grow from it. You need it. It's just, I believe this is mentioned before, but a flower needs a foundation to grow from. You need some kind of foundation. Darkness is that foundation. It is vicious, but it also can be understood and healed, where you're balanced on so many levels. If you remove darkness, life will not be all that exciting. Some would probably go crazy. Too much positivity and no challenge. So many have a lot of darkness within themselves. They're just not willing to let it go. And that's what makes life more difficult. As many of you are healing a great deal of darkness, you're balancing yourselves. Some say they are balancing, in truth they're not. So they hold it in because they enjoy the richness of it, the adventure of it. Of course, eventually, some of you enter those lives to deal with individuals like that. So what am I getting myself into? Not to remove the darkness, but to understand them, to be there for them. It's like to understand them. It's like, I understand you. Even if I don't fully understand you, because does anybody ever understand anybody completely? But you're there for you no matter if you go crazy or don't go crazy or whatever it is. It's a form of love, you can say. So this virus is more of a fourth dimensional energy. It is not a virus. It is a transformation, as many of you have already known. Higher dimensional energies are entering into your earth. And from a third dimensional perspective, yes, it does look like a virus. But you are here to change yourselves. So if you look at it from a vibrational level, as many of you have already done, you see it more like that. Not that you have to have the virus for yourself, no. I mean, you're warning from it. You don't need to experience the symptoms. You don't need to experience any of that. Some do. Many of you don't. Some of you experienced it before it ever hit the earth. Consciously. Some of you already had it way before it ever got injected into your earth completely. Like a couple of years before it ever... Because it was kind of roaming around even before now. So some of you have already been through the dark sides of it. So... Some of you might know, like, why have I been sick for like forever? Because that's a form of it that found you. Notice how you survive that. So yes, it's a higher dimensional, fourth dimensional energy. Call it a fifth dimension if you want, coming into the Earth. It's affecting those that will change with it, change their vibration, transform. Now, not everyone's going to see it that way, but as you see, your society is not as what it used to be. Things that you think will never fall apart are falling apart right now. But somehow the world is still in kind of a normalcy. It's not in full chaos. It's in chaos, but not full chaos. It is still livable. Notice that. A gift from your universe. So we have to change things. We're not here to destroy it all. Far from it. You are still in control. Let's see. All right. Blessings.